Hi, I'm Sam, a Cambridge economics student, and this video is intended for those of you deciding whether or not you should study A-level economics. So a good natural place to start is, what is A-level economics? i.e., what is it that the course entails? So A-level economics covers a wide range of topics, but it can be broadly categorised into two main divisions. So we have microeconomics and macroeconomics. So what's involved in microeconomics? Well, you'll cover things such as market failure, labour markets, market structures, the market mechanism, etc. In terms of macroeconomics, you'll cover things such as ASAD, trade, the balance of payments, economic growth and development, etc. The course has a focus on real-world examples, so many a time in the exam you'll be given a source which is based on a real industry or a real story. In terms of the exams, of course they vary slightly across different exam boards, but the main underlying theme is that they are all very essay-based. If you're more interested in specific exam structures, I've linked some common exam papers from different exam boards in the description. So now we've ascertained what A-level economics is and what it entails, let's go on to talk about the benefits and costs of studying this subject. Now the A-level economics course does cover a lot of different topics, which is good because it provides you the opportunity to learn about lots of different things. Obviously this does come at the cost of not being able to go into lots of detail about the things you cover. Thus you've got a bit of a trade-off here. So yes, you get to cover a lot of things, but the detail you go into may not be as much as you wanted. The next thing is that it will help you develop your critical thinking and analytical skills. The biggest skill that I think A-level economics helps develop is the chain of reasoning skills, i.e. the skill of being able to look at something and say this leads to this, which leads to this, which leads to this, which leads to this, which ultimately has this effect. A lot of the analysis you'll be doing in your exams throughout the course is based on this type of logic and reasoning. The other big skill it helps develop is your evaluation skills. The exams have a big emphasis on evaluation. It's the thing that helps differentiate the very top students from the rest. And what I mean by the course helping you develop these evaluation skills is it helps you develop the skills of whether or not a policy, an intervention or an action is effective and why or why not, and why maybe the effectiveness of said policy may be limited. Now economics as a whole, I would say is really good at developing problem solving skills. However, I would not say that A-level course is suited to these problem solving skills. i.e. out of all the A-level subjects I did, it was definitely the one that has the least emphasis on problem solving. Now that's a very different story now I've got to university, where it's got a very big emphasis on problem solving, but I just want you to know for the A-level course, you won't be doing that much problem solving. Now another good thing about the A-level economics course is that it can help you understand a wide range of global issues. I think the course helps to enable you to understand a lot of basic economic things which you'll see in the news, etc, etc. For example, things about why inflation is high at the moment, why the central bank chooses what interest rates it does, why raises to the minimum wage are controversial. It helps introduce a basic economic theory which underlies a lot of these things you see on the news. And then the final thing I want to talk about in this benefits and cost section is that A-level economics basically ignores any mathematical foundations to the subject. Now whether or not you see this as a cost or a benefit probably depends on your own opinion on the subject of mathematics. So now we've talked about the benefits and the cost, let's talk about the challenges and considerations you should be thinking about when deciding whether or not this course is for you. So the first thing to consider is the workload and the difficulty of the subject. Now I would say relative to other A-level subjects, A-level economics has a pretty standard workload. In terms of difficulty, I don't think A-level economics is a particularly difficult subject. The most difficult aspect will probably be the fact there's a lot of different areas covered, so you have to be able to remember all these different things. But the actual understanding of the things you'll be memorising, I don't think is that difficult. So now let's talk about the prior knowledge that may be useful and may impact your decision making on whether or not A-level economics is good for you. Now a lot of colleges and sixth forms will probably have a GCSE English and a GCSE Maths requirement to study economics at A-level. Now I'd like to say for A-level economics, the English side of this requirement is much more important. And that is purely due to the essay-based nature of the course. Now if you just go to university, I would say the maths side is infinitely more important, but at A-level the English side is definitely more important. So what do I mean by this? i.e. if you had two students, so let's say student 1 got a 9 in GCSE Maths, but only a 5 in GCSE English. And student 2 got a 9 in GCSE English, but a 5 in GCSE Maths. Now I would say the student 2 here, the one who got a 9 in GCSE English, is much more likely to succeed and do better than student 1 in A-level economics. And then the final consideration I want to talk about is the importance of a consistent effort and good time management skills. So like I said, I don't think the understanding of A-level economics content is that difficult, but the memorization of all these different things you're covering is probably the most difficult aspect. Thus, it's important to apply consistent effort throughout the year and have good time management. I personally believe that flashcards are super helpful for doing this. I used physical paper flashcards for year 12 and used online flashcards for year 13. And if you want to check out these online flashcards, I've left a link down for them in the description. I personally believe that flashcards were the easiest way to keep up to date with all the content and ensure I had a good level of understanding and memorization of the whole course. Now, let's talk about my own personal opinion and my own personal insights of the course. I just want to emphasize these are personal opinions. They will be biased and don't take them as gospel, it's just what I personally thought of the course. Now, I personally believe that A-level economics did cover a lot of interesting topics, but I was really let down by the lack of maths in the course. The way we derive stuff and understand stuff really had no mathematical rooting, which is so different to if you go and study economics at university. In terms of the exams, I think they were very manageable. If you learnt the content and importantly knew how to answer each specific type of question, then you'd be absolutely fine. However, I really didn't personally love the constant essays that was required throughout the year. And now let's give some final factors to consider when deciding if A-level economics is the course for you. So we have your personal interest and passion for the subject. How much are you interested in economics, by labour markets, by different types of markets, by inflation, interest rates? When you see these things on the news, do they interest you or do you just not really care? Second, your long-term career goals and aspirations. So economics could be a useful A-level subject for a variety of different career paths and aspirations. For instance, I know people who study A-level economics have gone to maths, engineering, politics, economics, etc, etc. And thirdly, the compatibility with your other A-level subjects. For instance, I know many people that did the same combination as me, which was maths, further maths, physics and economics, but I also know people that did stuff like maths, economics, law, or English economics law. I think because it's in the middle ground between a purely humanities and a purely STEMmy subject, it has good compatibility, which could be useful for future aspirations. And that rounds this video up. Hopefully you now have a more comprehensive view of what A-level economics entails and whether or not it's a good A-level subject for you. If you have any questions or queries, please leave a comment down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.